Hello everyone, this is Sarah, Painty Creator here, and today on my Paint Every Day in September challenge, all I've done is blob on, wet in wet, some watercolours that I liked that sort of spoke to me about autumn. I'm just going to put a little bit of tape there so that it doesn't move, and then I've let it dry quite naturally, and I've got some beautiful tones. So this is Cerulean blue, this is yellow ochre with a little bit of Veridian Green mixed in, and this is Alizarin Crimson. So just some very simple autumnal colours. And then I found on Pixabay, let me just take the light off for a little minute, this lovely little line drawing of some blackberries. So I thought, why don't we put those blackberries or something similar on top of this painting, because, drum roll, I've got a new pen. So it's a really fine one. It's this one, it's a 0.1, really fine. Waterproof, but actually, because I'm going straight over, and I don't think I'm going to go over the top. Let me just try it on this wall. Look at that, beautiful. And I've just pencil sketched out the outlines of the leaves and the blackberries and roughly where I want them. And because of how you're working on the dry with the pen, if it goes in a slightly different space, it's not the end of the world. And those of you who have been with me for a while will know that I don't really draw a paint. So this is that sort of encouragement to myself to step out of my comfort zone and to do a little bit of drawing and sketching and just letting everything work together. And the blackberry leaves have got these lovely sort of rough edges. So I'm not outlining, I'm trying to stay loose and just work on getting the impression of those leaves. And being brave and just a bit of experimenting, I find quite good for me. I might even put some extra bits on some of these, because otherwise you end up in a bit of a rut. First little blackberry bit. These are the little tubby bits that go on the side, the heads, and then I'm just going to go for it. Because basically they're just a set of juicy circles. Some of them sit in on top, and then others sit around. And as I was sketching them out, I was thinking, well, crikey, they're a bit like strawberry shape as well. Yeah, quite nice. Just going to maybe put a little bit looser on there. So I'm going to go here next, I think. Let's do those top bits again. Maybe one at the back. And then a row of some juicy berries. Setting off with a bit bigger berries this time. Maybe I've learnt. And they're not always in a row. So when you're doing something like this, you have to consciously remind yourself to make them a little bit more random than you maybe would at first. I might go in with a little bit of watercolour afterwards, or I might not. We'll see. So I'm sorry about the shadows, but it is what it is. The sun keeps coming and going today. Which is a nice autumnal day. So this one needs to go and then behind that blackberry, and then maybe down here. So there's a blackberry stalk that comes down here. I do like sometimes just pushing myself out of my comfort zone, and this certainly is, which is fine. Let me just put this blackberry in, I think. And there's a little voice that's always in my head that says, you can't draw, what are you doing? But speaking to people, they too have that voice. So if we can push those voices out of our headspace and try and release that sort of perfectionism bit that's within those voices as well, that says, well, that doesn't look like a blackberry, that doesn't look like a leaf, that doesn't, and just embrace the process and enjoy looking at these colours and textures, then the potential is there for us to have a really nice sort of happy space. And to just release our own flaws and not be as hard on ourselves. Because I think sometimes I'm very hard on myself. Well, I like that little light bit that's there. That's worked nicely to bring the eye to this blackberry. I'm getting a bit regular. Let me make it a bit less regular. And on this journey with my body, I've had to find things that I can do like this that gives me a different focus and allows my body just to rest. And I can do this in little sections, and that gives my body a bit of time off as well. Put a leaf going under here. I'm coming off there. That's okay. Aren't blackberries beautiful? I just love it. I used to love going blackberry picking as a child as well. And I've taken my grandson blackberry picking. And I love it when he comes back with like bright pink hands and quite often bright pink face, because he's just eaten most that we've picked. And I do also love a good apple and blackberry crumble at this time of year with plenty of custard. And if you're enjoying this set of Paint Everyday series, then just let me know, is what I'm asking. If you've got any ideas that we could do, anything that you really want to do. I'm trying to sort of stick to autumn and winter and embracing the season a little bit. But if you've got anything that you think, oh, that'd be fun to give a little quick paint or a little quick draw, then please do get in touch, and then we can have a go. So I could leave it at that, or I might go back in with a little bit of those same colours just to give it a lift. And because it's me, I'm going to go back in with those similar colours. So they were Veridian Green, which is a funny green by itself, but it mixes really well, and a yellow ochre. So and I'm just using my little mop brush, and because it's a waterproof pen, I can go back over the top like this. If your marker's not waterproof, you can't do this, because otherwise you're going to end up with a big black blur. You could also use, I'm just going in with some yellow ochre now, you could also use some watercolour crayons, a little bit of gouache or whatever you want within that. So just doing the leaves with this really quite watery mix of Veridian Green and yellow ochre. And I might just drop a few little black splodges of Paynes grey into the edge of these wet ones as well, because this time of year they get like a bit of mottled edges, and Paynes grey is a lovely colour for doing that with, because it dries sort of semi-opaque, and you get these really beautiful sort of edgy bits that speak to me of autumn, of that releasing and letting go. And as you can see, I'm using quite a lot of water because I want that translucency, because I want the base colours to show through as well. I'm not trying to cover over the base colour too much. I'm wanting to glaze over the top. And I will come back and do the blackberries when it's dry. I'm just using this Veridian Green and yellow ochre mix at the moment with dots of Paynes grey. As you can see, it just goes into this most beautiful washed out colour. It's beautiful. I love it. And I'm not colouring in, I'm just painting. So just thinking painting. You can take as much time or as little time as you like doing it. You can do it one bit at a time. It's just nice. I hope you can hear the wind in the trees coming through my open window today. I'm just using my little mop brush, but you could use whatever brush you want. And I'm on my Creative Peak paper again. This is absolutely wonderful paper for the price. If you want to paint regularly and every day, it's such a good paper. I've not found anywhere else for it other than Amazon. So I'm just going to put some Veridian Green and some sap and some Paynes grey together, just for a slightly different green for the stem. I'll just do So at the moment, this paper on Amazon is under £13 for 64 sheets. You might not need, you know, you might be able to use arches and paint on that all day, every day, and that's fine. But I know that many people who are chronically ill, like myself, are on very reduced incomes, and so they finding things that are reasonably priced and cheap and cheerful are really useful. And that, for £13 for 64 sheets, it works out at around about 22p, 23p a sheet. So it's well worth getting hold of if you can. So I'm going to just give this a little blast with my hairdryer and I'll be back with you. So I've mixed up some different blackberry colours. So they're basically cadmium red and ultramarine blue, these two in different mixes. And then this has got some indigo added for a deeper, darker, because actually some of my blackberries are quite sort of light purple, and some are quite dark, so I'm going to do a little bit of both along it. I'm not painting all these circles, so this is my lightest, and as usual we start with our sort of lightest colour. I've drawn the circles so they will read as blackberries, and I'm still letting those tones come through the base. So this is my mid-tone. So I'm imagining that the light's coming from this right hand side and then into this sort of darker, luscious, darker tone for this left. They're all quite watery. It's letting the watercolour do what it does best. But you can see through them. You can still see our little rings and circles. Excuse me. I've got one of those silly coughs today. So if you've enjoyed this, let me know what else you'd like to paint in the comments, and like and subscribe, and thank you to everybody who has joined my Patreon. So for £5 or your equivalent, you can join our Patreon site, support the work for our chronically ill community, because every month we have a couple of Zoom sessions at least together. If you're part of that community, you're more than welcome to come and join along. Please just get in touch and I will send you the information. And that's the end of our video today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to put the sun back up, the blind back up, so that we can see it in the sunlight. Oh, look at that. The colours are lovely and bright. This is just the arm of my camera stand. Can't do it any other way. But I hope you have enjoyed that, and that you give it a go and just let yourself embrace the season. So until next time, see you soon.